All right, y'all, welcome back to the channel. Let's jump right into it and talk about the Chase business line of credit. Now, if you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, you're looking at adding a couple more different lending options to your Rolodex outside of business credit cards, you might be looking at business lines of credit. So Chase is obviously a very valuable bank to build a relationship with. So I want to talk about some of the key requirements that you should be aware about if you are going to go with Chase for a business line of credit, the limits and sizes that you can get, some of the requirements that will help you out with better terms, better limits, and one key piece that no one else really likes to mention typically when they're funding you because of it, that if you stay to the end, I'm going to show you and or tell you about, and it's going to be extremely valuable for you to understand and know. So when it comes down to Chase in general with the business line of credit, they are typically going to pull Experian. Chase almost always pulls Experian, but sometimes as of late, when the economy tightens, the things that I'm going to mention are going to be more important than before, than a year and a half ago. Sometimes I have seen with some clients and with some data points in general that Chase has pulled not only Experian, but also TransUnion. So if you are in a specific geographic area, or maybe you're one of the individuals that ends up getting two pulls, just recognize that that is happening a little bit more now as of recently. With the business lines of credit with Chase, you can get anywhere from $10,000 up to $500,000. And if you have not seen the video, I explained what a business line of credit is. I have another video on the channel, so you can go check that out if you want a little bit more explanation on why you might utilize a business line of credit, because there are a lot of really good advantages and options to be able to use one for opportunities, for certain expenses that come up within the business. If you are in e-commerce, it can be extremely valuable for you if you can flip things around early. Having a large business line of credit can be extremely advantageous. Now, what I'm going to talk about right now is going to be extremely important. First of all, you should have strong personal credit, because no matter what, they are typically going to pull your personal credit, and having a good portfolio or a good credit profile is going to be helpful. With that though, all of the key pieces I'm going to talk about in terms of building a relationship with Chase are going to help you in terms of the terms of the business line of credit, because when you use the line of credit, it has interest attached to it, and you'll get better terms if you have a good personal credit profile and if you have a good relationship with Chase. What I will say though is, before applying to a business line of credit, you should have a relationship with Chase for at least 6 to 12 months beforehand. Reason being, it's like foreplay, right? You're just seasoning with the bank. The more that you build a relationship with the bank, the more they are going to help you out, as long as you keep that relationship strong. So if you have personal credit relationship, you maybe have the Chase Sapphire Preferred or the Reserve or any of the Freedom Unlimiteds, then that is going to help you, especially if you have higher limits on those cards. So if you don't have higher limits on those cards, I'd recommend asking for a soft pull increase beforehand, just because they're going to see what limits you have, not only on your personal profile, but with their bank in general. And that will also help with not only business credit cards, but also the line of credit in terms of the amount of credit that they trust you with. With that as well, if you only have a personal relationship, maybe you have a business bank account relationship, and or business credit card relationship, any type of these relationships that are seasoned and have been respected and utilized are going to help you. What can be extremely helpful is if you have or you work with clients or customers, and typically you're working, or maybe you receive payments or invoices through PayPal or Stripe. Sometimes they're annoying because they have transaction fees and they take a little percentage of it, and they're very well known for essentially holding on to a lot of that cash sometimes, if whatever you get an influx of clients 1 month or not. What you can do is you can set up a merchant account with Chase Bank. Setting up a merchant account will be helpful, especially right now. Right now, guys, the economy is a little bit tighter. The banks are wanting more verification from you as individuals if they're going to lend to you, right? They want more insight on you as a lender, which is why having good personal credit and having a relationship with the banks are going to be extremely helpful. So if you were able to set up a merchant account, it shows that you're getting payments or deposits from customers or clients, and that can be extremely helpful. If you have that and you have one set up, or you've actually gotten those payments through for a few months, that can be helpful. that is something to be aware about. Having a relationship for 6 to 12 months with Chase Bank is going to be great. Another specific way that you can improve the limits that you're getting on the business line of credit, because if you just go raw turkey or raw dogging without any relationship with Chase, you're going to get a lower limit. You're going to get worse terms on the business line of credit. I'm just fair warning you, and you're likely going to be required to show more documentation or verification. The more of a relationship that you have, the more that you've seasoned that relationship or foreplayed it out and had deposits and utilized them respectfully, that you're going to get better terms, higher limits, and that they're not going to require you to show any more documentation. If you don't have those, you're likely not going to be able to get the no doc BLOC that everyone wants. The other key piece, which I was just going to mention, is if you work with me or you're one of my clients, I connect you guys directly with my relationship managers at the banks, and Chase is very well known for increasing the limits and improving the terms and getting no doc BLOCs if you work with a relationship manager. So if you have a relationship manager that you have a relationship with that has helped you with lending in the past, that is going to be very helpful in terms of the approval odds and what you're going to receive. Now, I work with creators, entrepreneurs, e-com brand owners, business owners, aspiring entrepreneurs to help them scale, grow, and build their business with the use of funding, and then, of course, consult them on ways that they can do it the right way and be put in a good position. So if you work with me, you'll be able to have access to my relationship managers, but that is another key piece that you should understand if you're looking at BLOC. Now, the one thing that no one really likes to mention that I think is very important for many of you to understand and know is that no matter what, if you get a BLOC with Chase, they are going to put a UCC filing on your business. Now, if you don't know what a UCC filing is, it essentially tells other banks that Chase has a lien on your business and your assets, and for whatever reason, if you cannot make the payments or you default on it, then they can take those business assets. Why is this important to know? Well, other banks can see it, so it can detrimentally hurt you if you try to get lending from other institutions. The way I've seen it, though, is people that have a good relationship, people that have really good credit already and comparable credit limits, it doesn't necessarily affect them going to other banks as much. Now, if you haven't built up that strong foundation or you haven't built up those relationships with other banks, then it is typically going to affect you in getting additional lending. With other banks, though, when it comes to no UCC filing, they typically have a threshold of anywhere from $10,000 to up to $100,000, depending on the bank, where they will not put any type of UCC filing on your business, and some of those banks allow for no doc BLOCs as well. But with the way the economy is, people are asking for more information, so that is just something to be aware about. If you were to get any type of business line of credit with Chase, they're going to put a UCC filing on your business, so you need to decide whether that is something that you want to deal with or not, and understand where your credit profile and your business are currently at. So I really wanted to make sure that many of you guys were aware of that, because it's not mentioned often. Where, for example, if you went to PNC, you could go to PNC and get up to $50,000, $75,000 on a business line of credit with no UCC filing and lower documentation involved with that, which is good, because maybe if you want to get up to $150,000, maybe $250,000 worth of business lines of credit, you could go to multiple banks and get anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 with no UCC filing. Now you have different BLOCs available at multiple different banks with no to the possibility of getting additional lending from other banks. So that is up for you to decide. Yes, Chase can give out a large bag. Yes, if you have a good relationship with Chase, if you've already have high limits with Chase, if you have a good personal credit profile, if you have lots of deposits and cash flow, maybe all you need is $300,000 to $400,000 on a business line of credit, which you can get with Chase if you can show all of that. Likely on that higher threshold, they're going to ask for documentation, just so you guys know, and working with a relationship manager is going to help you get the higher amount. But that UCC filing, if you don't have all those things in place, can be hurtful. That is what I want to mention, you guys. That is how you can get anywhere from $10,000 to $500,000 on a business line of credit. Typically what I see is anywhere from $30,000 up to $150,000 on BLOCs with Chase. If you want more, right? All of those things apply, and working with a relationship manager is going to help you get those higher limits versus just applying on site. So that is how you can do it. Those are some of the requirements and the key pieces that you should be aware about when it comes to the Chase BLOC. Hopefully you guys appreciate it. If you got some value, if you want to ask some questions, maybe some additional information that I may not have talked about, drop them down below in the comment section. Hit like and subscribe. If you want to work with me directly, then reach out to me in the link below and we can see if it's a good fit. Appreciate you guys as always. Take care. Talk soon. Peace.